Episode 1, the story behind Back Against the Wall. All right. This is the album right here, y'all. I'm going to pause it because this is not really a listening party. This is me explaining why this album even exists. As you can see, it starts off with Jehu, My Life, The Realest, Mad Rapper, JUMPWATSONYT, Rock Your Bottom, How, Take a Look, and Flex. We about to go way back. Alright, this album, it wasn't made for fun. You know, it was made because I didn't have a choice, okay? And it's a long story. So, let me just show y'all something. Back in 2006, I typed up all of my raps. And this is what I found. Okay? These is the raps that I had. And then Back Against the Wall. It says, let me see. Since I opened it up, it doesn't have the original date. But these are the songs that I put on Back Against the Wall. Just so y'all know. This is how I found it. When I had an external hard drive. And I had to go through all of my folders. And I end up finding all of these raps, which I wrote when I was around with it. I wrote it when I was in Iowa in 2006. All these songs was performed at a club. But y'all want to know how I got here? What it means to me in my real life? I got released from the WNBA. Yeah. I had got drafted to the WNBA in 2002 to the Miami Soul. A lot of y'all might not know about my basketball career, but I played for the University of Iowa. All my life I thought that I was going to go to the WNBA and be like the female Michael Jordan. All my life I was planning on just kind of playing basketball, but I also, would rap, in my free time when I wasn't playing basketball. So, let's fast forward to 2002. I get drafted in the third round of the WNBA draft, 45th. Y'all know what I mean. Anyways, I was the 45th pick in the WNBA draft to the Miami Soul. I went to Miami, tried out. I'm not going to get deep into it, but I did really, really good at this tryout. And the coach released me, and he told me it wasn't because of basketball. He said he released me because this is a business. So I don't know what that means, but it's kind of was telling me that it was political. It wasn't like a move where he thought that I wasn't able to play. He said that I had all the athleticism and the speed to be in the WNBA. And he told me don't, stop trying to get it back into the WNBA. All right. So this is in 2002, around that time. So I had went back to Iowa City. After I had got released from the WNBA, I went back to Iowa City and I got my degree because I think I was one class short from graduating. So I went back to Iowa City and got my degree, and I was working at Walmart. So I went back and I was working at Walmart and trying to finish off my bachelor's degree. Okay. During my time at Walmart, I met a bunch of guys, my producer Adam, James Truth, and we were all just rapping. And I felt like my back was against the wall at that time. I feel like I had got released from the WNBA. My life dream wasn't turning out the way I wanted my life to turn out to be. And I was at Walmart working as in the fish department. The pet department. I was a fish dipper. Back then, they used to have fish at Walmart. And I used to be the person who dipped the fish out and then put it in a bag, tie it up, and then write the, name of the fish, how many fish they got. And that was my main job at Walmart. And I really just felt like I was in survival mode. I had a lot of pressure on me to be successful in life. And then I feel like I had a lot of doubt. after that, as far as like what I want to do with my life and if I wanted to keep playing basketball. But I definitely felt like I was in for survival mode. So I was able to work enough at Walmart to be able to support myself. I remember people laughing at me, people who knew me from the University of Iowa who knew I played basketball. I remember people coming in the store like, this Jerica Watson. And I would literally be ducking behind clothes at Walmart. I was like ashamed. I was just ashamed at the time. And so I remember people coming in and me going in between like the clothes racks in Walmart, trying to like duck in between those to run back into the break room until these people left from the university and all that. And when I tell you back against the wall, it was just like the perfect ideal for that moment in my life because I was young. I was like trying to go to college, trying to, get to the WNBA. I wanted to be successful and I wanted to live out my dream. So at at that time, Back Against the Wall was the way I felt. It's not just an album to me. Back Against the Wall is really like the testament to my independence as an adult. Like up until that point, my mother was taking care of me. The coaches at the university was taking care of me. But when I wrote Back Against the Wall, that was the first time in my life that I was paying my own bills. I was going to work, working 40 hours a week. Sometimes I was working 2 jobs at a time, working at factories, third shift. And I really just felt like my back was against the wall. It was either I sink or swim. And music became like my outlet. Music was everything for me. Like I would leave uh, Walmart and go to a club to rap. A lot of my Walmart employees and co-workers and stuff like that, they came to watch me, and then we would like get money like at the door. If we got a lot of people to come to watch us, we would get some money. I think I made like $20-$30 a show, and that was a big to me at the time because I wasn't making a lot of money at Walmart. So every song on this album, it comes really from a place. So I'm just about to do like a whole kind of documentary series on like all of the songs, because there's a story behind every single song on this album. It really is. So music, for me, feeling like I feel like a failure when I wrote Back Against the Wall. I kind of feel like a failure. I feel like everybody was disappointed in me. I felt like my family and everybody was like, dang, we thought she was going to, make it to the WNBA, and we thought she was going to be this really successful person. And so music was like what I wanted to do. My family and all of my fans, they wanted me to do basketball. But I felt like at that time, I wanted to do music. I wanted to write. And so I think I was like venting. When you look at all these raps that I wrote back then, it's a lot of them. And I'm happy I typed them up because if I didn't type up these raps, I don't know if I would have found them all. But Back Against the Wall, all these songs really, was just a way for me to like, it was therapy. It was therapeutic. So if you listen to Back Against the Wall, you will hear a more younger version of me. Back in my 20s, also you will hear a side of me that was still like actively playing basketball. So I'm talking about basketball in the sense that I'm still in that mindset of, scoring on people, jumping and stuff like that. That's why you will hear a lot of jumping in that album. I mean, words can't really explain how I felt at that time. I was supposed to be in the WNBA. I was working at Walmart. I remember the little smock we used to wear at Walmart. They used to give us this little smock. I remember wearing the smock to the shows and taking it off. Like, and maybe I might make a video Maybe I might make a video of me like working at Walmart, leaving my shift, and then going to the club to rap that night. And then my coworkers who really love to drink and stuff, so they just wanted to come, even though they didn't know nothing about my rapping. They all wanted to come, have drinks, and then watch me perform. So it was fun. It was the funnest time of my life, to be honest. I wasn't playing for the university. I got my degree, and I was really just working at Walmart, hanging out with guys, going to the studio, rapping, doing tracks. So the first song I'm going to talk about that is really interesting, how it came up, is Jehu in the next episode. In the next episode, you're going to hear how Jehu was created, the situation, the emotions, the ideals behind it, the writing, the sound, and what it really represents in the album, to be honest. That's what I'm going to try to give y'all in the next episode. So these episodes is only going to be like 25 minutes max, 25 to 30 minutes max. And I'm just going to kind of be giving y'all like the story behind Back Against the Wall in the album. I wanted it to be my first album, even though I have better raps and better ideals out there that I haven't released yet. Back Against the Wall seemed like it should be my first debut album because it's the first album I ever created. As y'all can see right here, I put all of these songs in this folder like this back then. And this is how I had it. And I even had an intro. And I wish I would have knew how to put this intro inside Spotify, but I didn't know, or TuneCore. Okay, so this is what's supposed to be the intro for this album. For Jerica, there is a designate occasion, even an occasion for every matter beneath the clouds, an occasion for love, an occasion to hate, an occasion for truth, and an occasion for lies, and an occasion for happiness, and an occasion for anger, an occasion for intelligence, and an occasion for ignorance, an occasion for success, and an occasion for failure, an occasion for bitterness, and an occasion to rejoice, an occasion for pleasure. I wrote that 2 times. Hold up. An occasion for pleasure and an occasion for pain. But last but not least, there is an occasion to be weak and an occasion to be strong and powerful. Okay, so y'all know that's a Bible scripture. And so that just sums up everything, especially this part. This was perfect, and I wish I would have put this in the album. Maybe if I ever redo this album, an occasion for failure. Because when I wrote Back Against the Wall, I feel like a failure. I feel like I disappointed everybody in my family. I feel like I was kind of embarrassed. Nobody in my family even knows that I was going out rapping after I worked at Walmart. Like, I never even spoke of it to nobody that I was rapping at clubs, that I was, doing stuff. Only person who knows is my sister. But it was just a shameful time in my life. And so that's one of the reasons why I put this, because I feel like it was an occasion for failure. And then I feel like it was an occasion for pain too. So these is the 2 that hit hard. I'm going to highlight this. An occasion for failure and an occasion for pain. So I know it doesn't look like that when you listen to the album. But overall, that's the meaning behind it. And so I wish I would have put this intro in the beginning. Then it would have made more sense as to like what I'm talking about right now. And then let me see what I put for the interlude. Oh. I know I wrote this back in the day. I know I wrote this when I was like young. My mind now, I would not think of nothing like this. But the interlude is knock knock. Who's there? Jehu, the one that rocks the mic, right? Jehu, the one that skies like moonlight. So y'all make sure y'all listen to Jehu before the next episode of this little series that I'm about to do. Make sure you watch listen to Jehu. Listen to it first. And then when the next episode come out, you have that kind of backstory behind Jehu and why I feel like it's one of the songs that I want to promote first on this little documentary. But when I opened this up, I was so happy. And the crazy thing is, I had these raps memorized because I was performing them at the shows. So when I found this, which is like 20 years later, I find these raps. Guess what? I remember them. But I had to like see the beginning first. Like I had to like open it up and see, and then as soon as I seen the lyrics, I'm like, J who, the one that rocks the mic, right? J who, the one that skies like moonlight, J who, spitting flows that'll quench your thirst, the first with a verbal curse, and every verse gets worse. You only get one time to spit your rhyme to me. You reach, I teach, some MCs rap, I preach. All right, I'm just giving y'all a little sample. But as y'all could see, I had those raps were memorized because I was performing them at this club called the Green Room in Iowa. So when I found the raps, I was just excited. And the reason I was excited is because I'm like, I remember I didn't have to even look at the paper or look at the Microsoft Word when I was rapping it, because I already had it down packed. Like some of my newer songs, I don't have them memorized. But these songs right here came so quick. The Mad Rapper. This was the one that I performed a lot. And I come on this stage with no jip up jap. I'm not the lady of rage. I'm just a mad rapper. I was supposed to rap that with my producer Trey, and maybe I'm gonna try to get a hold of Trey. But everybody that I was rapping with back then, they all moved to different cities. We was all in Iowa City. Trey in Houston, the Paul Bear in New York. Adam is in. He in Des Moines, Iowa. I don't know what happened to J Truth, and I'm gonna get into that with J Who. But I think DJ Omatic, some of the other people, they still in Iowa City, but for the most part, everybody all over the world. But I got all of them on Facebook as friends. So, man, I can't believe I'm talking about this right now. Like back then, I just feel so hurt, and a lot of people who was supporting me kind of forgot about me back then. So this is like spiritual for me. It's a spiritual album for me, and it represent it. What Back Against the Wall represent for me is getting cut from the WNBA, not knowing what to do with my life, not knowing what city I should live in or what career I should get into, or if I should just keep playing basketball. And it also represents people kind of like trying to force me to do things instead of me choosing what I wanted to do with my life. So I was trying to get approval from people. That's what basketball represents, me trying to make my family proud and to make everybody happy. But did it really make me happy? Now that I look back at it, rapping is what made me truly happy. Basketball, it was something that I loved to do, but it didn't really make me truly happy in the end. And so when I had a time in my life and I had a chance to do what I wanted to do, this is what I chose to do. I chose to write songs and rap at clubs. And to be honest, I wish I would have continued to rap, but I ended up going overseas to play for Iceland. So I left Walmart in 2006. I was working for Walmart for 3 years, from 2003 to 2006, and they gave me some good raises too. When I left Walmart, I was making like $12 an hour, and back then that was good money. And I left. I had an agent that told me that a girl in Iceland sprained her ankle and got hurt, so she couldn't finish out the season. It was in the middle of the season, and she called me and said, do I want to go overseas? I was at Walmart at the time, and I told all of my coworkers, my manager at Walmart, Kirk, I told him that I was leaving to go overseas. So that's what I did. I ended up leaving Walmart, going overseas, and that was it. I played basketball, but I kept these raps. So we about to get deep into it, y'all, because I mean, I'm not saying I regret going to play basketball, but what if I would have stayed at Walmart and kept rapping and kept doing shows? You know, you never know what would have happened. So, all right, y'all. Thanks for watching this first episode. I'm excited because I want y'all to know that this album is more than just an album to me. It's a piece of my heart and it's a piece of my soul. But the most important thing that you need to know is that I wrote Back Against the Wall when I was 20-something years old. I had to be like 22 or 23. So do not criticize me about the lyrics. That the person who wrote those lyrics was not the person I am now. Obviously, I'm way more mature. But the Jaws, all of that stuff. Y'all see all these kitty raps that I was writing back then, candy rappers. That was just where my mind was at that time. So as y'all get a chance to see my music career matriculate, you're going to see some songs that sound a little immature. While you listen to my music, if you listen to a song that sounds immature, I need you to think back to when I was younger. And so I wrote the immature songs that's on my album and that's coming out, because I got a lot of songs. As you can see, it's like hundreds. This ain't even all of them. This is just one folder. So all I can tell you is, as you listen to my music, understand this. If a song sounds kiddie and sounds childish or sounds immature, it's because I wrote it 20 years ago. And I'm still going to put it out, because everything I wrote, it comes from my heart. So everything, all my art is a little piece of me. And I'm not going to throw it out just because I'm not that person anymore and I'm not going through that particular stage anymore. I'm going to keep it because it meant something to me at the time, especially all of these songs on here. It meant a lot to me at that time. Now, when I read them, do I say to myself, this sounds kind of immature, kind of stupid? Yeah, I do say that to myself, especially Jaws. I'm not going to lie. But we're going to get into each individual song in a different episode. So make sure you tune in to all these episodes where I break down the meaning behind these songs and why they even mean anything to me, why they're important to me, and also who wrote them, because I didn't really write everything. I had help from a producer, and some of them, I did write on my own, and I had to fix some of the lyrics so that it can be on beat. So make sure y'all tune in. I'm going to do it this way so the episodes will be shorter. So if I break it down into songs, then each episode can manage to be around 20 to 25 minutes long, instead of making like a whole hour and a half, documentary on this album. So make sure y'all definitely tune in to the album so you will know. But I'm going to end with this.
Who's there?
I don't even know.
J Who? The one that rocks the mic, right? J Who? The one.
Peace. Every song on this album comes from that place that I was in when I had got released from the WNBA, and I felt like I had failed my entire family, and I went through so much. I really didn't even know if I wanted to live. I had some really dark moments because I thought that in my life I was just meant to play basketball, but I was wrong. So every single song on this album, it comes from that place. And it's what I did to kind of help me cope with feeling like a failure in life.